Are Indian minor birds destroying the Australian environment? Not many people realise how invasive and detrimental the spread of the Indian minor bird has become across the east coast of Australia, and how the thriving birds are now a feral pest to native Australian birds and marsupials. The Indian myna, or common myna as it is also called, originates from India and Southeast Asia. In these native countries, the Indian myna is known as the farmer's friend, as it eats insects that would usually destroy crops. For this reason, it was introduced into Australia in 1962 to control insects that were eating Melbourne's market gardens. It was also released into the sugar-growing cane fields of Queensland to control cane beetles and locusts. Although the myna initiatives in Melbourne and North Queensland failed, the Indian myna bird population has thrived and has a very established myna residence across cities and towns on the east coast of Australia. The Indian myna is a highly adaptable and aggressive bird. When sourcing a nesting site and territory, the myna's aggressive nature is an advantage as they chase away and compete with native birds and smaller marsupials for tree hollows and food. The myna has been known to destroy eggs and chicks and evict sugar gliders from hollows, leaving these native Australian animals nowhere to go. It is not uncommon for a group of mynas to mob rosellas or possums, chasing them out of a territory. The species thrives in urban habitats and will build cavity nests in either trees or buildings. Their nests have been found under the eaves of houses or spaces in walls. The myna flourishes in urban areas due to its willingness to eat garbage and nest in artificial structures. This wider diet and nesting range increases the available options and gives the myna another advantage over native Australian birds. This is why there is an abundance of mynas in cities and a lack of native bird diversity. The Indian myna is listed in the International Union Conservation of Nature's top 100 of the world's worst invasive species. In Australia, the Indian myna has swiftly adapted to its new environment. A research study in the city of Canberra has proven that an established Indian myna population will negatively affect the abundance of native Australian birds by reducing their breeding success. The research results show the decline of the crimson rosella's population by 3.5%, the sulphur-crested cockatoo by 2%, and the kookaburra, whose abundance is usually stable, by 0.4%. There was also a significant decrease across the species of 7 native small birds. It is worth noting that although these numbers may seem small, they are significant, as changes in a species' prosperity is usually gradual. The study also took into account the effects of Canberra's urbanisation. To control and manage the damage of Indian mynas in a local community, local councils and interest groups need to work together and issue recommendations on how people can discourage nesting near their homes. The Victorian Government website has a list of recommendations including: please feed your pets inside the house as mynas will eat pet food. Keep lids on rubbish bins at home, especially in cafe and restaurant areas. Check your roof or building for any holes that mynas may nest in and block up. And plant native trees to encourage and increase native bird population. By actioning these recommendations, together we can help decrease the growth of the Indian myna population and protect our native Australian birds and marsupials. Thank you.